Hey there guys, I'm here with my WWE Survivor Series 2023 predictions. Usually I put these videos out, usually the day before the pay-per-view, just in case the Friday before the pay-per-view puts out another match, but I am going to be in WrestleCade in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which you guys are going to see a lot of videos about that event. I'm super excited, so I did have to put this out early just because I probably won't have the time at all that weekend to be able to put out this video. So far, this pay-per-view doesn't really have that many matches announced, which that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing, obviously, because they're not going to be able to use all their talent that they have, but it's also a good thing because these wrestlers that are in these matches are going to have a long time to put on a great match. And we know when there's long matches, usually the match gets up to a high rating and ends up in the A's, and obviously is a good match. First up, we got Carlito versus Santos Escobar. And the Santos Escobar heel turn was absolutely phenomenal. I loved that heel turn. And the involvement of Carlito during that heel turn was great. And I knew they would end up having a match. And of course, with Rey Mysterio getting injured, Carlito was going to be the guy that Santos Escobar is going to go against until Rey Mysterio is back from injury. Because eventually we will see Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio. But overall, this match, I think it'll be a great match. We got the veteran in Carlito, and then we got the youngster, the rising star in Santos Escobar. And since Santos is the rising star, and he's kind of building up to his match against Rey Mysterio, so he actually looks like a contender and have a possibility to beat Rey Mysterio, I definitely think he's going to win this match. I'm almost 100% on that, but of course I've been surprised with other matches in the past, so anything is possible. But overall, I think that match will be pretty solid. And there's a few things that could happen in this match that really will make it big and exciting. I think Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo could come out to help out Santos Escobar. And then next up is for the Women's World Championship. And this is Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. And we know Rhea is an amazing talent. She can put on a great match, and Zoe Stark can too. I'm a huge fan of Zoe Stark. I thought she was amazing in NXT, and then she got called up, and WWE definitely sees something in Zoe Stark. I mean, they paired her up with Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. And not everybody gets to run around with a Hall of Famer. But obviously, Rhea Ripley's title reign is not ending anytime soon. I don't see it ending. But they definitely have done a great job making Zoe Stark look like a threat. She's been kind of seen as one of the most powerful women on Monday Night Raw. But come on, we know Rhea Ripley is keeping the title, and she's going to beat Zoe Stark. I'm almost 100% on that one as well. This next match is going to be for the IC title, and this is the Lean de la Ganta versus The Miz. And I've told you guys before, the IC title is looking like one of the biggest prize possessions in actual wrestling right now. Like all of wrestling, it really looks like a top title. And you got to give Gunther all that credit. He added all of that worth onto the IC title. He made it look like a big accomplishment. It's, in my eyes, it's not seen as like that mid-card title. Like, in my personal opinion, beating Gunther for the IC title seems like a bigger accomplishment than beating Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not sure why, that's just kind of how I see it, because of how dominant Gunther has been with that IC title, and I just don't think Miz is going to be the guy to do it. But the build-up for this match has been absolutely amazing. It has pushed Gunther to really show his character work, to be able to work with the crowd, and he has done a phenomenal job at it. He has put on promos without Ludwig Kaiser talking for him. And I've really liked every single segment that I've seen with these two. And we know they can put on a banger. Gunther, he has put on so many 5-star matches. I mean, almost every single match I've seen him in has been at least a B+. And then The Miz is an absolute veteran. He's a Grand Slam champion. He's put on plenty of amazing matches. So could be a great match. But my final prediction is going to be Gunther, because I just don't see The Miz beating him. Honestly, at the end of Gunther's reign, I think he might just relinquish the title. Basically, he might say, I want to go for bigger gold. I'm going to drop the title and go for Roman Reigns, or I'm going to go for Seth Rollins, or I'm going to go for, let's say, Cody Rhodes, whenever, because that's who I think is going to beat Roman. Him versus Cody Rhodes for the title. That could be something we could see. Because I don't always understand why, whenever somebody is going from being an intercontinental champion, quote-unquote mid-carder, to being a top guy going for the World Heavyweight Championship or the world title, why would they lose the title? Why wouldn't they just drop the title and say, I want to go for a bigger goal? Why make them lose right before they're going to try and shine? And so, final prediction for this match is Gunther. Next up is the Women's War Games match, and this is going to be Shotzi, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control, which consists of Io Sky, Bayley, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. And we know that Damage Control is looking stronger than ever. If you look at the list of names, they're looking like the greatest women's faction to ever do it. Obviously, they just became this powerful because they just now got Kairi Sane and Asuka, but they have the momentum and everything. Let's just look at this screen. Look at the screen. Who is the worst wrestler on the screen? All right, I'm going to be a little bit biased here. It's Shotzi. Shotzi completely stands out in this match. She is, like I said, I'm going to be biased. She's not a good in-ring performer. Yes, her character is interesting and her character work is great, but her in-ring performance is absolutely horrible. And considering that Damage Control is looking amazing right now, I think they're going to win, but I just think Shotzi is there to take the pin. Shotzi is the weakest link, and I mean, does it really sound believable for any of the other women on the face team to take the pin? All of them are bona fide Hall of Famers, not even a question. So I'm going to take Damage Control for this match, and I definitely think that Shotzi is going to be the one to take the pin. Next up, in what is probably almost 100% going to be the main event, this is the Men's War Games match. This is Sami Zayn, the Viper Randy Orton returning from his long injury break. Main event Jey Uso, Seth freaking Rollins, and Cody Rhodes versus the Judgment Day, which consists of Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. And looking at everybody that is going to be in this match, I am like, wow, because there is so much talent going to be in the ring. And then the return of Randy Orton is going to be crazy because we know that Chicago crowd is absolutely amazing. They will get excited for almost everything you put in front of their face. And then you put in the heat of Dirty Dominic Mysterio. The crowd is really going to love this match, and it's going to be very action-packed, obviously, because it's a War Games match. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a great match. But for the prediction, I think there's two ways that this match could play out. Randy Orton makes his debut. He's a face, and he's going crazy. The crowd loves him, and he ends up getting the win. And so the face team wins War Games. Because if it makes sense, Randy Orton's not going to lose his match on his long return from injury. We've all been wanting to see him return back to action for so long. I don't think he would lose. But we also know that Randy Orton is a phenomenal heel. So everybody is excited. Randy Orton's going to be a good guy. But little do they know, Randy Orton has a heel turn against the face team and takes the side of Judgment Day to allow Judgment Day to get the win. The crowd would be going crazy because Randy Orton just turned heel. And like I said, we know Randy Orton. He can play face amazing. He can play a heel absolutely amazingly. So why not add more action and let Randy Orton turn heel to let the Judgment Day get the win? And of course, this would make Judgment Day look even stronger than they already do. And let's be honest, it's not going to hurt anybody on the opposing team's career. Cody Rhodes, you really think this War Games match is going to affect him? Jey Uso's the same way, and everybody, Sami Zayn, it's not going to affect anybody. So yeah, I cheated on this one. Those are my two predictions for this match. If Randy Orton stays face, the faces will win. If Randy Orton turns heel, Judgment Day will take the win. And so I'm really expecting for this pay-per-view to be absolutely amazing. You guys watch and make sure you don't miss my video whenever I have my Survivor Series review and ratings, where, as it says in the title, I will review the show and rate it with a grading system with like A+ and all that, and so you definitely don't want to miss that. But like I said, the card is short, but that gives the matches a longer time to put on a banger. And just looking at the card, I mean, there's phenomenal names everywhere, and it doesn't even consist of all the big stars. Shinsuke's not being used, Roman Reigns is not being used, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, people that are at the top of the card aren't even being used, and it's already looking like a great pay-per-view. So, I have high expectations for this pay-per-view, and I hope for it to be great. My review and ratings might come in a little bit late because I will be at WrestleCade, and so I'm going to have to replay a little bit of the show, but I will release a review and ratings video. So I will see you guys on the next one, and I hope you all enjoy WWE Survivor Series 2023.